Hello and welcome to today's lesson on fossil fuels. In today's lesson, we will understand what fossil fuels are and explore their uses. We will also evaluate the reliability and renewability of fossil fuels. Finally, we will examine the environmental impact of fossil fuels. So far, we have an overview of energy resources. You have learned about different types of energy resources and their roles in our lives. Building on this foundation, we can now delve deeper into fossil fuels. This lesson will enhance our broader understanding of energy resources, their reliability, renewability, and environmental impact, thereby advancing our knowledge of physics and its real-world applications. Fossil fuels are primarily sources of chemical energy. This chemical energy is stored in the remains of plants and animals that lived millions of years ago and were subsequently buried under layers of rock. Over geological time, intense heat and pressure transform these remains into coal, oil, and natural gas. When we burn fossil fuels, the chemical bonds within these substances break and release energy. This released energy can then be converted into other useful forms, such as electrical energy in power plants or mechanical energy in engines. The typical use of fossil fuels involves combustion processes. For instance, in power plants, coal, oil, or natural gas is burned to produce heat, which then converts water into steam. This steam drives turbines connected to generators, producing electricity. In vehicles, petrol, derived from oil, is burned in internal combustion engines, generating the energy needed to power the movement of the car. In households, natural gas is commonly used in furnaces and water heaters to provide heating. Fossil fuels are the backbone of modern civilization, providing the main source of energy for a variety of applications. Fossil fuels have been a reliable energy source for many decades. They can provide a continuous and stable supply of energy because they are abundant and can be accessed relatively easily in many parts of the world. However, the reliability of fossil fuels is increasingly coming into question. As fossil fuels are finite, non-renewable resources, their availability is diminishing over time. This means that in the long run, relying on fossil fuels may become less sustainable. Fossil fuels are considered non-renewable resources. Unlike renewable energy sources, which can be replenished naturally in a short period, it takes millions of years for fossil fuels to form. Once we extract and burn these fuels, they cannot be replaced on a human timescale. Therefore, for practical purposes, we consider fossil fuels to be finite resources. The combustion of fossil fuels has several significant environmental impacts. One of these is air pollution. Burning coal, oil, and natural gas releases harmful pollutants such as carbon dioxide, CO2, and sulfur dioxide, SO2. CO2 is a greenhouse gas that contributes to global warming, while SO2 can cause respiratory issues and other health problems in humans. Another environmental impact caused by the combustion of fossil fuels is climate change. The accumulation of greenhouse gases like CO2 in the atmosphere traps heat, leading to a rise in Earth's average temperatures. This process is known as global warming and contributes to climate change, resulting in more severe weather conditions, melting ice caps, and rising sea levels. Another environmental impact of burning fossil fuels is acid rain. The combustion of fossil fuels, especially coal, releases sulfur and nitrogen oxides, SO2 and NOx, which can combine with water vapor in the atmosphere to form acidic compounds. These fall back to Earth as acid rain. Acid rain can damage forests, soils, and aquatic ecosystems as well as man-made structures. Because of the pressing environmental concerns, many countries, including the UK, are actively seeking to reduce their dependence on fossil fuels. For example, the UK has significantly reduced the role of coal in electricity generation in recent years, from around 40% in 2012 to less than 2% now. In today's lesson, we investigated fossil fuels as a form of energy. We covered what fossil fuels are, including coal, oil, and natural gas, and identified them as stored chemical energy. We explored how fossil fuels are used, their reliability, their status as non-renewable, and their environmental impact. Understanding these aspects of fossil fuels helps us appreciate their role in our current energy landscape and the need to transition to more sustainable energy sources.